Hello, my friends. Episode three, that's six. Episode three. Um, this one's a little rough. This one's a little rough because this is the episode, the point of the project, where as I'm sure you know, because you make things, there's always a point in the project where you think, what am I doing? Why did I start this? What am I getting at here? And this is that point for me. I kept saying the whole time that we'll either have a lot of 9 patches or we won't have enough. And I did not have enough. I cut 22. I need about 60. In this episode, I went back and forth about whether I was going to just sort of like make it look like I made enough, but I decided this is a diary. This is a process diary, and this is how I do my process. There's definitely an element of embarrassment or shame around the fact that I don't plan my things out. I don't plan them because I don't want to know what's going to happen. Because in life, so many things happen that you don't know are going to happen, like literally everything. And we deal with them. And I really feel like if we have a hobby, if we make things with our hands, it mirrors what's happening in our lives. And if we can begin something because it sounded fun and the desire is there to do it and work through the parts that are difficult and painful and make you feel stupid, then that means you're a better person because of it. So this video is me messing up and then figuring it out how to fix it. So that's what you're here for. So let's recap. What have we done? So in episode 1, we thought of an idea. We come up with a loose plan, which immediately was changed. We picked colors. We found fabric for those colors. Well, we found fabric and then that made us pick the colors. We found a fabric that was about the right size and decided to pick those. We cut those strips, we sewed those strips together, and then we cut those strips, and then we sewed those strips together, and now we have 9 patches. So as of the beginning of this video, I have created 22 9 patches, and I believe we're about to pick out the background. However, we're not. These are my 9 patches. They are, like this one is totally wrong. And some of them are just pretty okay, like this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, which is plenty. So he's a little bit wonky. He has some potential, but he's a little weird. The biggest we can make him, it looks like there's an inch, right at 2 inches. This one is not quite a quarter. It's a quarter this way, but not this way. Let's see what this guy is. Still, it's longer. We could probably get a quarter, 2 1/4 out of that guy. We can get 2 1/4 there. So it looks like 2 1/4 is going to be the largest we can get. And 2 by 2, this one doesn't quite work because you see how we've got this opening. So 2 by 2 is the largest square we're going to get out of that guy. But 2 1/4 is a possibility. So this is the thing about not measuring. This is the wonkiness, the oddness that I like. This might be the part that makes you not want to do this. That's a quarter. That's a little more than a quarter. So I can cut that down to 2 1/4. But there are some, like this guy, that I just cut that is now 2 by 2. So that either doesn't get in or it's modified with something to make it a 1/2 inch bigger so that it matches up to the bigger ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down to 2 1/4. Any that do not fit, I'm gonna make 2 by 2 and I'm gonna set those aside because those might get in, they might not get in. There are some that aren't gonna make it. This one's right under 2 1/4. I'm gonna make it work because 1/4 is more than I was sewing with before. So it's gonna be fine. I'll figure it out. So you lay it down first and you make sure you have enough room on all sides. And then when you spin it, you cut it perfectly on that line. So here are our squares, and I've been thinking about what to put under. And I think I either want to go with purple that's pretty nice, or a darker purple. Which is also nice. There's no wrong answer. It's just whichever I feel like doing at the moment. But what I really think that I want is red. The purple's just fine. The red, though, I got a few different reds. That's the one. This deep red is a red that was used in a lot of traditional old quilts. And I really think that this is the way to go. Yeah, I like that a whole bunch. There are no reds in the patches. There's no reds in the 9 patches, but there are purples and oranges, which are the opposite sides of the red. And there are complementary greens and blues. So we're definitely gonna go with this red. So we should think about the pattern that we need. I'm gonna find the pattern, lay it out, and we're gonna figure out kind of how much fabric we need to fill those spaces. This is the pattern that I'm using. I will obviously link to the pattern. This is the bag that I'm making. So I'm finding the main pocket. This is the way I do my patterns. I print the pattern and I paste the front here. I write down what I'm making, and then on the back I put the essential things that I need and the layout, the things that I need to not dig for, basically. So I have the strap. This is view A. This is the main body. So this is going to be what it's gonna look like. Which means I need 2 of these. I need the underneath strap, bottom panel. So this basically, yep, like that. It holds the front, the back together. It's like the underneath thing. I would show you, but I haven't made one yet. So this needs to also be this. This is the strap. The strap, I'm gonna use a regular strap. This needs to be that. This is the strap. This is the lining, so those we don't need. Zipper tab we do need, probably just gonna do that in red. So we're just gonna leave that out. So the space we need to fill is these. You're going to literally lay them out. However, and see if we have enough. Or how much more we need, or if we have too many, or we're just gonna see what the situation is. We're also gonna not forget that the way we're laying them, there's space in between, and there won't be. It's gonna be smaller because we're sewing them together, so those seam allowances are showing right now, but in reality, they're going to overlap. So we need to make sure that it's bigger in all ways, at least a few inches. I'm sure there's like a mathematical way to do that, but I don't know it. So this is what we got. We have not anywhere near enough. We have enough to do one side, and that's it. So the question becomes, what the hell are we going to do now? I told you it was really going to be way too many or not nearly enough, and it's not nearly enough. I need at least triple what I have here. So I could go back to square one and cut strips and put them together and do this a whole bunch more if I'm attached to that idea, or I could add something else. I don't know. I don't know which I want to do. So, okay. So if we add something else, what would that be? Would it be a square around them? If we added an inch of some other color and a corner square, that would be in line with the pattern, with the inspiration pattern. If I don't do that, then I have to make more. So let's see just if I play with it. There's still not enough to do that. This still isn't there. So that means that I'm gonna have to make more of these. So in my head, it is sort of solidified that this is what I have, that these are the colors that I have. And it's kind of a bummer that there wasn't enough because I was pretty happy with this template. If I continue to do these improv the same way, it's going to change something. It's going to change the vibe somehow. I have 22 and I bet I need 50. So, sad face, I have to make more. So as you can see, there's just not enough. That's all of them, and that's one side. And there's also a lot going on. So as I'm looking at it through the camera, I'm starting to feel like maybe I should put some other color in there. Maybe I should add pink because I really like pink and red, and pink isn't anywhere else. Or I should add black, or I don't know. I really like it with the red. Why is that so flat and that's not? Oh, that's so flat because I flattened the seams and this one I didn't. It's fine, doesn't matter. Once they're sewn together, they'll be flat and we're gonna sew over them, it's gonna be fine. But I really like this red. So maybe there should be red around it. Just a straight up square of red and no square here because that would be really difficult to do. And the red is really nice and bold. So I went back to the source material, which is Pinterest, and I found a 9-patch that is red and old, and I think I'm just going to do that. I will need to make more 9-patches, which isn't a big deal. I have plenty of scraps. I was just ready to move to the next thing. I'm sure you feel that. What's specific about this quilt is that the red is the entire background. There's no borders, the 9-patches don't touch, which is what I thought they were going to do. But what happens is that the red acts as a border that is as big as the squares in the 9-patch. I feel like the proportions are what's important here, so I'm gonna go with that. So what I'm going to cut is 1.5-inch strips because these guys are 3/4 inches, 3/4. They're not even, they're nowhere near a whole inch, right? So I'm gonna cut inches just like I did last time. I'm gonna cut red 1-inch strips and I'm going to make this front. And then I will know how many I will need to make the back, and then I will be able to figure out how many I will need to make the bottom. So I'm gonna do that now. Actually, I'm not, because if I make this whole front and then I go to make the new 9 patches for the back and for the bottom and for the straps, then they're going to be completely different, because I made these 3-4 days ago, and I was a different person 3 or 4 days ago than I am today, because that's how it works. I'm going to put colors together that are different, and I want it to be cohesive. That's a thing that is important to me. I want it to be cohesive on the color, like, feel of the thing. So instead, I'm going to cut some of this red because I'm going to need it anyway. But first, I'm going to make more 9 patches. So the next thing, hopefully, I will have a whole bunch more of these. And I did decide to do a little bit of planning at this point, because I figured it out with math and it still didn't feel right. So I decided that I needed to draw it. So I took a photo of the bag with a ruler on it, and then I drew in Procreate. So that's these 2 little videos that helps me decide exactly how many I need. And there is some benefits to this. This isn't like not what I wanted to do, right? It just took a little while to get to it, and that's okay. What this allows with this configuration is that I had enough fabric. I could make enough 9 patches to fill in the space that I created in this picture. This rudimentary picture that somehow works better for me than math. It might change again, honestly. I'm going to do that. I need to make 60 of these. I figured out with that picture that I need 17 on one side, 17 on the other side, and then on the strip that holds it together, I need 20. So I'm making 20, 20, 22. I've already done 22. I need to make 40 more. And as I'm saying that, I forgot that there's like 2 whole straps. So hopefully those extra 6 will fill those spaces. If they don't, we'll just do it red. I'm not even going to worry about it. It'll be fine. So let's do it. We're going to do it fast. This took 6 hours. So I'm at the point in the project where it feels like everything is wrong. I didn't make enough points. I don't know exactly how I want to make the whole thing. This is why people design their projects before they start cutting. But my method is that I go in the direction that I'm pushed and that feels good at the time. And I just want to acknowledge that there's a part in each project where you're like, why did I start this? Why am I making this? Why have I dumped 10 hours into this thing, and probably 25, because I had to learn all these programs in order to get it on YouTube? And why bother even putting it on YouTube? Because who's going to watch this? But but you just have to keep going or quit. Nobody cares either way. Nobody cares either way. You can keep going or you can quit. I'm going to make all these because I like making things. And we're going to just see. I'm just going to see what happens. That's the plan. I also feel like I want to say that my whole thing is that perfection isn't necessary. And I don't
feel the need to be perfect in the shapes or in the colors or in the pattern. This comes to me in that I am very attached. I become very attached to the inspiration, the thing that I saw first that I really liked. I don't even really realize it until I realize it, that I'm trying to duplicate the thing that I saw. And that's not possible because I'm a different person than that maker. And I don't want the exact same thing. I want my thing with that as inspiration. So what I have to think about and what I have to let go of is the fact that I become very attached to what I want the outcome to be. And part of the reason that I quilt is so that I can learn to let go of that.
And that's episode 3, The Pit of Despair. Episode 4, we will get into the background. I am going to do the red. I am going to start cutting. I'm going to see what happens. And if we have enough, or at the end, somehow I end up with like way more than I needed, which is also likely. I really don't have any sort of concept. That's why I don't have an ending size for most of my quilts, because I just keep making them until I feel like that's enough. And it's pure just vibes all the time. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment and subscribe so that you can get the next one that will have more new information in it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night, guys.